Today from ANTEC we have a new AIO, which is Vortex 240 addressable RGB with 2 addressable RGB fans, and we have Fusion 120 addressable RGB fans that come in a triple pack. And the best thing about these two is the fans are the same. So when you build your PC and you want everything to be similar or from at least one brand which has the same fans, well, they did that. They have same fans on the AIO as in this box right here. So we're going to take a look today with basically all of this, placing all of this in one case and making it look quite nice, I would say, because so far when we were talking about ANTEC AIOs, we had somewhat, not an issue, but AIOs had different fans and the triple packs came with different fans. So this time it will be more unificial and it will be, well, more OCD free, I would say. So let's start with the Vortex 240. Now this is their new AIO. There's also a 360 which we will cover later on, and basically what we can expect is the Fusion 120 fans, which are highly efficient for radiators, which will provide massive airflow and also lighting effects, even though that is obvious since it has addressable RGB. Now the radiator has a superior fin density which dissipates heat rapidly, and that's really good. Now also we have water pressure pump of 1.4 meter of height. When we're talking about the tubing, EPDM high density tubes, addressable RGB fans with PWM connection, and addressable RGB lighting pump head, which looks quite interesting and I would say a bit of a refresh on the whole market without a doubt. Now, some technical specification, we'll go through this quite quickly because I really want to show you this build and how it looks with it. So 120 times 25 millimeters are dimensions of the fans. The dimensions of the radiator is 277 times 120 times 27. So altogether thickness fans and radiator is 52. The fan speed goes up from 600 to 2000 RPMs. The noise level is from 17 to 31 decibels, which is quite alright. I would say lifespan is 40,000 hours at standard 25 degrees Celsius room temperature. You have 4-pin PWM header for connecting fans for the speed and 3-pin for the addressable RGB. The material on the radiator is aluminum and polycarbonate. Pump head is connected with 3-pin DC and 3-pin addressable RGB. Water pressure is 1.4 meters, as already said. Flow rate is above or equal 1300 milliliters per minute, and the noise is under 28 decibels. It supports all Intel sockets, so LGA 11.5X, 1200, 1700 and 20XX, and it supports AM3 and AM4 socket. Honestly, I think it might even support AM5, but I can't guess and tell you that it's 100% accurate. We'll leave that when the AM5 actually arrives and when we have the possibility to test that out. Now for the fans, we have Fusion 120 addressable RGB fans, which come in a box with 3 fans and controller. Now the controller is quite familiar. I don't think they changed it at all because it's similar. You can connect the fans and the addressable RGB, well, basically the PWM and the addressable RGB to the controller, SATA connection for the power, and basically what is left is to connect it to your motherboard if you want to control everything through your motherboard. They're the same fans, so I'm not going to go into details about it. So let's check out the build. Cool thing about the Vortex 240 and most likely 360 is that you get a controller. Now what kind of controller do you get with 360? We'll find out in that video. But in this situation we have a smaller controller which also has a magnet on the back, so you can basically place it on the back side of the case that you find it the most suitable for you while doing the cable management. It has a possibility to connect up to 4 addressable RGB products. For instance, we had 2 fans on top, 1 fan at the back, and of course the addressable RGB on the pump top. And then you just have to connect it to your SATA power, and after that, basically that's it. You have some switch control, which I didn't see the cable for, but you have a button at the back which gives you a possibility to adjust modes. For instance, if you don't have an RGB header on your motherboard. So there's that, because there's an option for you to directly connect it to your motherboard. So I would say quite cool, basically, which gives you guys an opportunity to connect the lights and control the lights, because you have static, you have a rainbow, you have 2 different color segments going in a circle. There's loads of possibilities to adjust the lights, and you can do that if you don't have addressable RGB header on your motherboard. Unless you do, you can control it through your motherboard. Now, all in all, I would say quite interesting design, first of all on the fans, then on the pump. First, I thought that removing the foil on the side and on the top, turning it on, I saw a couple of lines and I thought there was another foil, but basically that is actual design for a more vortex effect, I would say. Temperatures on AMD Ryzen 5 5600G, since we were running this build the last time, go up to 52 degrees Celsius when we're talking about only CPU and GPU testing in AIDA64 Extreme Edition. But if you place CPU, FPU, cache and system memory, the temperature on the processor goes up to 62 degrees Celsius, which is also quite alright, I would say, without a doubt. Now there's one more thing, the pump runs on 100% when I connected it for the first time, so that's 5700 RPMs. Now the pump is at that point really loud, and well, louder than the fans if you place them on 50%. But if you twinkle around in BIOS and adjust everything, you can lower the sound and the RPMs. I would say ideal was 37, and basically now I hear the fans more than the pump. Well, basically I don't hear the pump, so yeah. But quite interesting temperatures, I would say quite alright. I mean, the CPU, FPU, cache, system memory is something that it's used on higher loads when we're talking about rendering and similar stuff like that. Then, as I stated, we have the Fusion 120 addressable RGB fans, which are also really nice in terms of visual aspects and possibility to connect everything. The addressable RGB, especially with the unique dot Kagan shaped lighting, which projects the light quite in a different segment and way, I would say. The cool thing about the fans is, apart from the controller that you get inside, is that on both sides they have rubber anti-vibration pads, which of course is always appreciated for less noise when running a PC. Then this is what I wanted to say. I'm quite satisfied with the new ANTEC products. You've seen that in the past cases that I reviewed, this one and the 505, and basically they really did a nice job on the fans and on the AIO, and they're really stepping up the quality. I've been reviewing their products for quite some time now, maybe more than 2-3 years, and you can definitely see the pattern going through the cases, through the AIOs, through the fans, that they're really raising the bar, and I'm really enjoying this. So guys, links for the Fusion 120 addressable RGB fan triple kit with a controller is in the description below, as well as for the ANTEC VORTEX 240 addressable RGB AIO. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe, and hopefully I will see you all guys next time. Thanks, bye bye.